Hey y'all, Coldfire here, and here are 10 tips that will make your hard drive hunting a little bit easier. First of all, if you don't know already, hard drives are an essential item on Satisfactory. It is used to unlock alternate recipes. I'm not gonna go through why you need to unlock alternate recipes, but let's just put the way they are very helpful and make your production line much more efficient and clean. After being acquired, the hard drives can be researched at the MAM, and it results in a choice of one of 3 alternate blueprints chosen randomly from the pool. After update number 3, there's a total of 70 alternate recipes, and as far as I know, the whole map have a total of 85 unlockable hard drives. There are 4 of them that are still not unlockable because they require an unreleased components to be unlocked. And yeah, since you need to unlock 70 out of 85, I highly advise you the tip number 1, which is get a map. The good thing about Satisfactory is that its map is not procedurally generated, so you can reliably find all hard drives by following this map. There's plenty of sources on the internet, but the one that I highly advise you to use is at satisfactorycalculator.com. It's an interactive map where you can draw distances, you can update your progress, you can even plot your current player location if you load up the right save file. As a plus, this website will highlight exactly how much power and which modules you need to unlock every single hard drive on the game. And talking about unlocking hard drives, here goes tip number 2. Prepare ahead. Since you're probably going to be traveling vast distances, you really don't want to get to the hard drive just to find out that you don't have the requirements to unlock it. So my advice is to plot your path of hard drives you want to tackle on a single expedition and make sure you have all items necessary to unlock all of them. Some hard drives can involve requirements of very high tier items such as supercomputers and turbo motors, so make sure to double check it before leaving your base. Many crash sites will contain a lot of high tier items as well, but I would advise you to rely on luck. Also make sure you're carrying enough healing items, ammo, weapons, fuel if you're using jetpacks, biofuel, coal or whatever if you're planning to use a vehicle like the Explorer, plenty of concrete, iron rods, iron plates for building infrastructure on the fly like bridges, towers and so on, but also don't forget to leave some free room on your inventory to carry those precious slugs, alien byproducts, advanced products, and of course, the hard drives. And talking about preparation, here comes tip number 3. After update number 3, the only reliable source of energy on the wilds is actually the Biofuel Generator. Before that, the most efficient way was probably placing coal generators that have a higher energy output, but with the changes with the fluid mechanics, now you need water for coal generators and liquid fuel for the fuel generators. So the easiest solution if you're like in the middle of nowhere is definitely biofuel generators. And even though that most hard drives need only 20 or 30 megawatts of power to unlock, which should be covered by a single biofuel generator, a handful of them will require triple-digit energy, and one of them can use up to 420 megawatts of power. On tip number 4, I advise you that most of the crash sites are located very high up on the landscape. So one of the easiest way to get up there is by building towers upon towers upon towers. So make sure to pack a lot of iron rods, iron plates and concrete so you can build your ladder up as easy as possible. For tip number 5, I highly advise you to get an Explorer. It is fast and reliable, and to unlock it, you need to research the quartz tree on the MAM. I won't cover the MAM on this video, but if you want to know more about it, just leave in the comments and I will promise to make a video about it. The Explorer would accept almost any type of fuel, but the batteries are the most efficient fuel by far. And if you don't have it, I would just advise you to use biofuel, since you probably should save your normal fuel for the jetpack. Also, if you run out of biofuel, you can always make it on the fly by chopping down some trees or grabbing some leaves or even killing some aliens, which is clearly not the case with the normal fuel. And talking about normal fuel, there goes tip number 6. Get yourself a jetpack. It is invaluable. It is very handy to climb up small vertical distances. It makes you transversing or horizontal distances much safer and easier. And the best thing of it, it's make your descent so much faster. Because you can simply jump out of a cliff and do a power descent suicidal burn style. Just keep an eye so you don't run out of fuel and you should be golden. For tip number 7, I would say get some explosives. I know you can use the assault rifle or the nail gun or even your big long sword, but my favorite is by far explosives. If you manage to sneak on your target and you can land 2 of those charges, you can instantly kill any size of any mob. It synergies very well with the jetpack where you can fly overhead your targets and drop bombs on their heads. But the real perk of explosive is the satisfactory of watching things burn. So make sure to pack a lot of nobelisks and bring them hell. Explosives can be researched at the map on the sulfur tree, so go check it out. Tip number 8 is probably kind of unorthodox and it's by far the best tip I have for you today. It's building a Hyperloop Railgun. I did a whole video explaining how exactly this works. Go check that video out if you're interested on the gory details, but basically you build a loop of hyper tubes and they will accelerate you until the system cannot hold you any longer on the trajectory and you shoot you on the tangent line, and on the tangent line you build another tube system that will propel you to the right direction and angle you want. So it's very handy to cross huge distance on the map without using basically any resources or fuel. All you have to do is to build the small setup you're seeing on your screen. The only drawback of this setup is that it consumes a little bit of resources, so you need to plan ahead, and also you need power on the fly. So every single one of those units you have to build a Biofuel Generator. The good thing is that you can find plenty of biomaterials near pretty much everywhere. So even if you don't have a lot of biofuel with you, let's say 10 pieces, maybe less of leaves will be already enough to make the trip. And by using the Hyperloop Railgun, you'll be easily accessing very high places on the map. So there goes tip number 9. Grab hard drives on the descending path. It's much easier to go down than to go up. So my advice is try to plot a path that you can catch the higher hard drives before, and then you just go downstream grabbing the lower ones. You can see their altitude coordinate on the website I showed. So there's 3 coordinates, which is X, Y, and the third one is Z. So that can help you to track what hard drives are high up and what hard drives are down. And unarguably, the most important tip you'll ever see on hard drive hunting is tip number 10. Save your freaking game a lot, like very, very frequently. Especially every time you grab a hard drive, make a habit of saving your game. Hell, maybe even decrease the autosave feature for like 5 minutes or less. I cannot stress enough how important this is. Satisfactory world is a very dangerous place and a lot of things can go wrong. You can get swarmed by mobs, you can hit some unexpected obstacles on your railgun path, or even maybe you run out of resources and you don't have no way to go back because you spent all your precious steel pipes building stuff. So you have to go back on foot, which takes hours. So just keep saving your game, preferably saving different slots. Don't do the mistake of overwriting stuff because you might just realize that you screwed something up like 2 or 3 saves ago. So it's always good to have the option to roll back 1, 2, maybe 3 saves. And if you don't believe me, just check this short clip of my mistakes while I was recording this video. They're quite hilarious. and that would be all for my advanced hard drive hunting tips. Make sure to leave in the comments what you think about this video, if it was helpful for you. And if it was, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss my future videos. I'm starting slowly to make more and more content for Satisfactory. So if you're a regular, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you next time.